Well, that didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Welcome to another bit of weird tat this time, actually, instead of some sort of fidget cube thing. Another little sort of side video I fancy doing. This is a really weird little robot thing. It's actually supposed to be a beetle, like a stag beetle. It's really quite strange. This is my partner's, who never bothered to build it, so I built it today, and it took me about half an hour to build altogether. Very odd is how I'd describe this thing. First thing that strikes me is odd. It's supposed to be a beetle. I don't remember beetles having big sort of antenna coming out of the top, or big massive cables that are really long cables coming out of them and into this really unsafe looking remote thing. I don't understand. Yeah, that's how it moves. It's a simple just sort of remote. You even have to assemble the remote. That's how budget this thing is. And it's sort of, you just put the little levers in there and work on springs to make them move back and forward. Each does one side. Very simple sort of stuff. But, very sort of, I'm not a fan of the build quality of a thing where the sort of your batteries and the contacts are exposed. That's not the best idea, to be honest. They could have done with just making a cover for that as well. I'm going to show you the box that this came in. Oh, hello. And a big clunking noise as well. And there we go. Let's just push that back so this stays in focus. This is the box that it came in quite a long time ago. And you can see it's worth 2,160 yen. That's Japanese yen, which translates to about £15. And yeah, this is still available for £15. The box is quite sort of old and a bit battered up, and it's going to be thrown away after this, to be honest. But very odd. The most odd thing that is inside this box actually comes when it comes to assembling the thing in question. And focus. It's this. These are all spare parts. Those never got used at all. I don't know what they were for. These bits here never got used either, like these little pins that you can see there. Or there's two of these spare as well. These are like the little bits that hold the axles on at the back. And these pins here we used to hold quite bits, like bits of the legs in and whatever. Very odd. And this bit here, which obviously snaps off, but I don't know what it's for. There was no hint whatsoever as to what those bits were to be used for. It's never brought up, never even alluded to that you might need those things. So that's strange. Also, if I just empty out the box, this bit here, you can see just this little bit of purpleness here. That was put up in one of the bits of instruction. It's put up over. Which side is it? This side here. There. It's supposed to, it was in the instruction for assembling this leg together. It was put it there in between the screw. And it never shows up on any of the subsequent pictures. So I don't know what it didn't really seem to make any sense when it was there either. You don't know what it's for, what it does, so that's basically my opinion. That's some grease. There's like metal axles in there, so that kind of makes sense why that's there. And there's the little screwdriver that you assemble it with, all kind of bog standard stuff. And here are the stickers that came with it. Remember, this is supposed to be a beetle, and I picked the eyes and these bits here, which look a bit like sort of not scales, but the things like you get on insects. So that's the sort of most beetle-like stickers that are there. And They put these in. These are the stickers. So as a RoboCraft, which is like the brand, Tamiya, which is the company, and some 1, 2, 3 stickers. I don't really know what they were aiming for there, to be honest. With that, very strange, very strange indeed. And the instructions. That's the box on the floor. Yeah, the instructions are sort of fine. They're just they're in Japanese mostly, but there's enough English there to sort of be legible and be able to assemble. Oh, there's my Voyager in the background still that you can just see at the top. Not finished yet because there's a lot of stickers and I don't have the time. So let's get on to just sort of operation. You saw at the start of the video it just sort of moves around like that. It's quite loud, so this might be completely drowning me out and sound like shit. It works like this. This here, this is the left-hand stick, controls those legs there on the left-hand side. Isn't that funny? And brings it round. The one on the right-hand side is, if you can see there on the leg, I just sort of pivot. There's a little bit there, and all this mechanism here is all connected to that bit there. And that bit controls, so if I just hold it and do that, then that is controlling the pincers as well, and that moves a lot faster when it's not hitting on something. Another surprisingly nice bit of quality is these bits here. These are nice little rubber washers that you've screwed into the bottom of the feet so that it doesn't scratch the surfaces that you make it go on. Isn't that great though? This is the little bit of thought that goes into that to save so many scratches on surfaces. Yeah, another thing that because of the way this was done, you kind of have to be aware, very aware, as you can see like that, of how you're moving it, because you're going to get the cables caught up in it. So, it wants to look at Voyager now. There we go. Yeah, you have to be very careful of how you're moving it. It's very odd. So I just thought I'd show that to you. A little sort of extra video of a little bit of tat. I'm going to call it tat because it is pretty sort of tat. That was in my girlfriend's inventory of things. Don't know why I called it that for a number of years, and now it's been assembled. And maybe it should have stayed there. I don't know. Maybe I don't understand. They could have, like, they've got space at the back here. They could have maybe just extended that out slightly and put a battery compartment on it, and then maybe made this sort of give it a wireless receiver instead. Maybe that would have worked better, but maybe that's also a bit too much thought to put into it for a weird Stag Beetle remote control thing. Yeah, that's why you should be careful with the cables, because it really doesn't like them when it gets caught up in them. It's very sort of doesn't want to move around as much now. And it doesn't go in a straight line anymore.